You are listening to PastThink.com audiobook. Please like and subscribe, thank you. Chapter 68. Shurjin is imprisoned at Dongping Prefecture. Song Jiang releases Dongping. The leaders would not agree to Song Jiang's handing over the command to Lu Junyi, and Song Jiang did not like to disobey Chao Gai's dying wish, so he addressed them. Just now we are short of money and rice, but there is a good supply of those things at the cities to the east of Liangshan Marsh. The cities I refer to are Dongping and Dongchang prefectures. We have never troubled those towns, so I think we may go there now and borrow some rice from them. We will write the two names on slips of paper, and Lu Junyi and myself will draw lots. Whoever takes his city first will take command here. A good plan, said Wu Yong. That will not do, said Lu Junyi. Song Jiang is our commander, and I prefer to obey his order only. But the assembled heroes would not agree to Lu Junyi's suggestion. The slips of paper were written out, and after offering incense to the spirits, the lots were drawn. Lu Junyi drew Dongchang while Song Jiang drew Dongping. That evening Song Jiang divided the leaders and men. He took Lin Chong and 24 other leaders and altogether 10,000 men. Lu Junyi took Wu Yong and an equal number of leaders and men. Everything was soon ready, and both forces left the mountain on the first day of the third month. The weather was warm with a refreshing wind blowing, and the fresh grass was of brilliant green color. The prospects for a campaign could not have been better. Song Jiang led his force to within 13 li of Dongping, and encamped there at a town called Anshan. Song Jiang addressed his leaders, I know that the prefect here is Cheng Wanli, and that with him is a great warrior who can face 10,000 men without defeat. He is called Dongping, and his nickname is the Two Spears General, because he can use two spears at the same time. If we attack his town we must be polite, and inform him of our intention, so I will now write such a letter, and send it to him. If he is willing to surrender, then all the fighting will be avoided. But if he is unwilling, then he cannot complain about the results. Who will take the letter? Yu Baoxi stepped forward and said, I know the Lieutenant General Dongping, and am willing to take the letter to him. But Wang Dinglu also stepped forward and said, I am a newcomer, and so far have not done anything to show my merits. So I should like to go on this mission. This was agreed to, and after the letter had been written asking for the loan of some rice, the two men departed. In Dongping the prefect discussed with the lieutenant general upon hearing of the arrival of the brigands at Anshan. While they were conferring, the letter from Song Jiang arrived, and the messengers were called in. Yu Baoxi and Wang Dinglu duly presented the letter. The prefect read the letter, and then spoke to the lieutenant general, the brigands want to borrow some rice. What do you think about it? The general was very angry, and ordered that the two messengers be taken outside and executed. But the prefect objected to this. He said, there is an ancient rule, when two countries are at war, the delegates must not be killed. That is only proper. The most we could do would be to give them 10 blows each with the bamboo, and send them back. The lieutenant general was still angry, but he agreed to this, and gave orders accordingly. When the two messengers returned and reported the matter with tears, Song Jiang was very angry. Shurjin came forward and said, when I lived in Dongping Prefecture, I was on very intimate terms with a woman there named Li Shuilan. Now I can take some money to the town and stay at that woman's house. When you are ready you can attack the town, and I will set fire to the drum tower inside the town. By working together, both inside and outside, we can accomplish our object. Song Jiang approved of this plan. Money was given to Shurjin, and he left that day for the town. He duly reached the house of Li Shuilan, and she asked Shurjin, I have not seen you for a long time. I heard that the magistrate wanted to arrest you, and that you had escaped to Liangshan Marsh where you became a leader among the brigands. These 2 days there has been a great stirring on the streets, because the brigands are coming to attack us. Why have you come here? I will tell you the truth, replied Shurjin. I am a leader of the brigands, but so far I have done no meritorious deed. Just now they have come to borrow some rice from the town, and I have told them all about you. I come here really as a spy, and here is a parcel of money for you. You must not let anybody know of my arrival. When the thing is finished, I will bring you to the mountain stronghold to enjoy pleasures." The woman assented and received the money. She then entertained Shurjin with wine. During the meal she went down below and spoke to the pimp. This man was previously a good visitor here, and so we admitted him. But he has now become a bad man, and is wanted by the authorities. I think we may be implicated by his coming here. The man said, "These brigands are very fierce, and never failed to take the town they attacked. If we betray this Shurjin, they will kill us when they enter the town." The madam of the brothel said, "How stupid you are. You do not know very much. An old proverb says, if a bee is on the breast, loosen the clothes immediately. This is a rule. If we inform the authorities about this man, then we are free from blame. You had better go to the yamen at once and tell them about this man. They will arrest him, and so we shall avoid any trouble." The man said, "But he has given us plenty of money, so we cannot treat him that way." The woman abused him. "You brute. You're just talking farts. Our business here injures a countless number of men, not to say a single man. If you do not do as I tell you, then I will go to the yamen myself and inform against you as well." The pimp said, "Do not be so hasty. Shuailon must entertain and keep him here. We must not beat the grass to drive away the snake. I will go to the yamen and inform them to have him arrested." When Li Shuailon came upstairs again after this conversation, Shurjin noticed her face was changing colors, so he asked her, "What has upset you like this?" The girl replied, "I am somewhat upset because in coming up the staircase I missed my footing and nearly fell down." They had hardly had time to drink a cup of tea when they heard the noise of men down below. About 10 policemen entered the room and seized Shurjin, bound him with cords, and took him to the yamen. When the prefect saw Shurjin, he abused him. "Your courage appears to be bigger than your body. You come here as a spy all by yourself. If the father of the girl Li Shuailon had not informed against you, you might have done much injury to the people. Tell us quickly what you have to say in defense. What instructions did Song Jiang give you?" Shurjin did not speak, so the lieutenant general said, "This kind of thief will not confess without a sound beating." The prefect ordered that the prisoner be beaten. The attendants brought a pail of cold water, and after pouring it over the legs of the prisoner they gave him about 100 blows on the same parts. But still Shurjin would not speak. Lieutenant General Dong Ping therefore ordered that the prisoner be taken to the jail. When Shurjin had left for the town, Song Jiang wrote a letter to Wu Yong informing him what had been done. When Wu Yong read the letter he was very surprised, and told Lu Junyi that he would go at once to see Song Jiang. This was agreed to, and Wu Yong traveled all that night. When he reached Song Jiang's camp, Wu Yong asked him who had given the order for Shurjin to go as a spy. He was willing to go, and made the proposal himself, replied Song Jiang. He was previously very friendly with a girl Li Shuailon there. "Brother, you have not thought the matter over," said Wu Yong. "If I had been here he would not have gone. Those girls injure many good men, and prefer new to old acquaintances. They have dispositions as changeable as water, and are quite controlled by their pimps. I am sure that Shurjin will have met trouble there." Song Jiang asked Wu Yong whether he had any plans to rescue Shurjin. Wu Yong sent for Gu Deseo and spoke to her, "There is a troublesome affair which I want you to take in hand. I want you to dress as an old woman, and stealthily get into the town as a beggar. You must get the latest news there, and quickly return with it. If Shurjin is already in prison, then go and speak to the jailer that the prisoner helped you some time before, and therefore you want to bring him some food. When you are allowed to see Shurjin you must tell him secretly that at the end of the month we shall come during the night, and attack the town. He must find a place where he can afterwards escape that night. He must set fire to the buildings as a beacon for us to attack the town." Turning to Song Jiang he said, "You, brother, must take your men, and attack Wenshang, a town nearby, and the people there will escape to Dongping Prefecture. Gu Deseo will easily enter the town as one of the refugees without any suspicion being aroused. Then you can do what I have already told you. When this plan had been arranged, Wu Yong mounted his horse and returned to Dongchang Prefecture. Song Jiang then gathered his men together and marched on Wenchang. The people in that town fled to Dongping for protection as anticipated. Gu Deseo joined the refugees as an old woman with hair and dress in great disorder. Upon entering Dongping with the others, she began to beg for food on the streets. She soon found out that Shurjin was in prison. The next day she got a basket of food and went to the entrance of the prison. Soon a jailer came out, and Gu Deseo weeping bitterly saluted him, and the jailer asked her what she was crying about. Gu Deseo replied, "My old master, Shurjin, has been imprisoned. I have not seen him now for 10 years. I heard that he was living as merchant, and do not know how he came to get imprisoned. I see that nobody gives him anything to eat, so I have brought him some food. I beg you to allow me to present this gift. By doing this your merit will be enormous." "That man is a brigand from Liangshan Marsh," said the jailer, "and his crime deserves his execution. Who would dare allow you to see him?" "If he has committed such a crime then he must answer for it," said Gu Deseo. "I pray you have pity on me, and allow me offer him this food to show my gratitude to him." So saying she began to weep again. The jailer thought, "If this were a man I would not dare to take him into the prison, but as it is only an old woman perhaps I might do it." So he told her to follow him, and took Gu Deseo to the cell where Shurjin was chained up. Shurjin recognized her, but although surprised dared not say a word. Gu Deseo burst into tears again, and gave Shurjin some food. Other attendants seeing this called out, "That is a bad man waiting for execution. Why give him food? Get out of this place at once, or we will beat you with the bamboo." As Gu Deseo saw no means of staying, so she whispered to Shurjin to struggle by the night of the end of the month. Gu Deseo was then jostled out of the prison, so that Shurjin could not ask for further information, as he had only caught the 3 words, "the night of the end of the month." It was the 3rd month, and had 30 days, but on the 29th day he heard 2 jailers talking, and one asked, "What is the date?" The other man evidently made a mistake, for he replied, "Today is the last day of the month, and I must buy some paper money and sacrifice to the spirits." Shurjin was not aware of the mistake in the date, and for the rest of the day was anxiously waiting for the coming of the night. That evening the jailer was half drunk, and when he took Shurjin to the place where the paper money was to be burnt, Shurjin called out, "Who are those men at your back?" The jailer looked round to see, and Shurjin seized his kang, tore it off his neck, and knocked the jailer down with it. He then seized a stone, and broke the wooden fetters fastened to his feet. He then rushed into the guardroom, where many of the jailers happened to be drunk, and using his wooden cane he killed a number of them, while some ran out of the room. He opened the prison gate expecting the brigands to be somewhere near at hand, but as nobody was there he entered the prison, and released about 60 prisoners. There was now a great uproar from the released brutes. When the prefect heard of the disturbance in the jail he summoned General Dongping, who expressed his opinion that the trouble must have been caused by a spy who had got into the town. He immediately issued an order for the soldiers to turn out and capture the spy. He also ordered other soldiers to march out of the town and attack the brigands. He asked the prefect to defend the town and dispatch guards to the prison to prevent the prisoners from escaping. The prison was soon surrounded, and Shurjin was still inside, daring not to venture out. Gu Deseo was outside, and was sad because she could not get in. The lieutenant general and his soldiers marched out to attack the brigands' camp about 3 a.m. When Song Jiang heard the news he assumed that Gu Deseo must have been arrested and their plans discovered. He however ordered all his men to get ready for the coming attack. It was the hour just before dawn. The 2 forces soon met and halted, when General Dongping rode forth. He was very intellectual, and was well acquainted with the 3 religions of Confucianism, Taoism, and Buddhism, and also the 9 schools of philosophy. He was also a skilled musician. Song Jiang noticed his stylish manner, and was very glad to meet such a man. He noticed that his quiver was full of arrows, and from it was also sticking out a small flag with the characters, "Heroic 2 Spears General, Marquis over 10,000 families." Song Jiang ordered Han Tao to give battle to the challenger. Han Tao was armed with a long-handled mace, while Dong Ping used his iron spears with great skill. After they had been fighting for some time, Song Jiang thought that Han Tao stood no chance of victory, so he ordered Su Ning to relieve Han Tao. This was done, but after Su Ning had fought about 50 bouts he had not gained any advantage. So Song Jiang, being afraid that Su Ning might be defeated, ordered a gong to be sounded as a signal for him to return. Upon seeing this, Dong Ping raised both spears and dashed after Su Ning right into the brigands. Song Jiang signaled for his men to surround the foe, while he himself took his position on a mound so as to overlook the conflict. If Dong Ping tried to escape to the east, Song Jiang signaled for his men to block that route, and the same if Dong Ping tried another way. But Dong Ping used his spears with deadly effect every time, so that he could not be captured. After fighting like a rat in a trap, he at last found a means of escape, and cut his way through the brigands. He had had enough fighting for that day, so he ordered his soldiers to retire to the town. But that evening Song Jiang ordered an advance on the town according to his original plan. They surrounded the town, but Gu Deseo, although she saw this, dared not set fire to any building. Shurjin also had no courage to venture out. Now the prefect Sheng had a daughter, who was very beautiful, and General Dong Ping, being single, had several times sent a matchmaker to try and arrange a marriage. But his offers had always been rejected by the prefect. For this reason the general secretly did not like the prefect, although openly they were friends. When Dong Ping got back to the town that evening, he remembered this old grudge, and sent a matchmaker to reopen negotiations for the marriage. Prefect Sheng replied that the proposal was an excellent one, but on account of the present dangerous crisis, he could not agree to the marriage, as people would only be amazed and jump to wrong conclusions. But he would be pleased to discuss the matter when the brigands were driven away from the town. The matchmaker reported this to Dong Ping, who ostensibly accepted the prefect's idea, but in his heart he was really dissatisfied, as he was afraid that the prefect would eventually decline his offer. That night, however, the brigands attacked the town, and the prefect again ordered Dong Ping to defend the town. General Dong Ping was very angry at this renewed attack, and taking 3 regiments of soldiers he left the town. Song Jiang was on horseback in front of his men, and when he saw Dong Ping he called out, "How dare you alone, General, fight me with my overwhelming strength? If you submit I may spare your life." Dong Ping was angry and shouted, "You were only a petty clerk, so how dare you talk to me like this?" So saying he whipped his horse and dashed towards Song Jiang. But Hua Rong and Lin Chong were on both sides of Song Jiang, and they both galloped forward to fight with Dong Ping. After several bouts the 2 brigand leaders suddenly galloped away as if defeated, and in accordance with Song Jiang's previous orders the bandits upon seeing this scattered in all directions. Seeing this, Dong Ping was elated, and wished to show off his abilities further, and whipping his horse galloped after the now retreating bandits under Song Jiang. After racing for about 3 li like this they came to a village with a single road between 2 rows of straw huts. Across the road the brigands had laid several ropes covered with a thin layer of earth to catch the enemy's horse. As Dong Ping dashed up the street a gong was sounded, the doors opened, and the ropes were stretched across the road as soon as he was going to pass. Dong Ping had hardly rushed forward, but his horse was tripped by the rope and fell. The brigands leapt out of the huts, and seizing Dong Ping bound him with ropes. He was disarmed and taken before Song Jiang, who had pulled up his horse under a poplar tree. When Dong Ping came up, Song Jiang pretended to be angry, and shouted, "I told you to invite General Dong Ping to come, why have you tied him with ropes like this?" He hurriedly dismounted, released the prisoner, and then saluted him. Dong Ping also saluted in response. Song Jiang then spoke to him, "If you do not disdain us we shall be pleased to receive you as a commander of our stronghold." Dong Ping replied, "I am your prisoner, and deserve nothing more than death, but if you will forgive me, then I shall be very fortunate. But as you ask me to become your leader it makes me astonished. In our stronghold we are short of grain, and came to Dongping Prefecture to borrow some, and had no other intention, replied Song Jiang. That fellow, Prefect Xing Wanli, said Dongping, was previously a tutor in the family of His Excellency Tongguan, and that was how he got the office of prefect at Dongping. If you like, I could return to Dongping, and by false pretenses get the gate of the town opened so that your men could enter, and so get all you require. Song Jiang was very pleased at this offer and accepted same. He ordered the prisoners' arms, armor, and helmet to be returned to him. They mounted their horses with Dongping riding in front, and soon reached the town. Dongping called out for the gate to be opened. It was still dark, and the gatekeeper lit a torch to see who it was, and when he saw Dongping he at once opened the gate, and lowered the drawbridge. Dongping entered and killed the gatekeeper, and Song Jiang and his brigands knocked through the open gate, and were soon in control of the town. Song Jiang ordered his men not to kill the civilians, or set fire to the houses. Dongping went to the yamen, and killed the prefect, and all his family with the exception of the daughter whom he kept for himself. Song Jiang ordered the jail to be opened, and rescued Shurjin. He also seized the treasury, and looted the gold and silver there. The town granary was also looted, and the grain was sent to Liangshan Marsh. Shurjin took the men to the house of the woman Li Shuilan, and killed everybody there. Song Jiang distributed all the goods in the prefect's house among the people. He also issued a proclamation, "We have killed the officials who injured you people, so that now you may continue your avocations without fear." He then ordered his men to leave the town, and return to Liangshan Marsh. When they were on the way, however, Bai Xing arrived with news as to how the expedition to Dongchang Prefecture had progressed. Generals throwing stones which hit quite another target.